You are listening to the Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Hi, welcome to Keeping Up with Conroe, hosted by Visit Conroe. I'm Jody.
I'm Shannon.
And we are here to highlight upcoming events and local businesses in the area. We are here live on the second Tuesday of every month.
Usually.
Sometimes at 11. And the show airs on podcast, YouTube, Facebook Live. So stay tuned in regularly to Keeping Up with Conroe. So we've got a busy day today.
Well, everything's kind of ramping up.
I know.
Getting ready to go back to school.
Wednesday. Well, this will be my last first day of school, so, we can all commiserate together or cheer and have a beer. I don't care.
But our first guest is here to
Yes.
talk about some things. We've got Brian Bondi, the president, CEO, head guru. I don't know your title.
Chief cook and bottle washer.
There you go. Of the
That's right.
of the Conroe Chamber, Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce.
Hey.
So I'll get it right
I'm
one
not
of these
concerned.
days.
It's okay.
The Greater
It's all
Conroe,
good.
Lake Conroe.
Just call me
There
anything
you
but late
go.
for supper.
There
That's
you go. And we
right.
were just talking about school,
Yeah.
and before we jumped on the air here, we were talking about the kids in need in our own community, and the chamber's
Yes.
taken a lead role in helping fill that.
So, it's interesting. And you guys probably remember when you started school. For me, it was always, I couldn't wait to get my pencils and my eraser and my
Backpack.
zipper. We didn't have backpacks
Oh,
back in
well.
the dark ages. Sorry, Jody.
Did you also have to walk 2 miles one way to school in the
uphill,
snow?
uphill,
both
yes,
ways.
absolutely. But I couldn't wait. I love getting new school supplies, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, in this day and age, not everybody is fortunate enough
Right.
to have the means to be able to get school supplies.
That's right.
And there are school supply drives all over the Houston area. So we know to a certain extent, we're duplicating some efforts here. But we also know that in the Conroe, Lake Conroe area and Willis, that there's a pretty significant need. Conroe and Caney Creek feeder zones in CISD and in Willis ISD. And we thought, the business community needs to know that we care about the kids because guess what? That's our future workforce, right?
That is
Absolutely.
right. They will one day be all of our bosses.
They'll be taking care of me in the nursing home for too much longer. Anyway, and so working with Guarantee Bank and Trust, Natalie, and it just kind of snowballed very quickly from a Saturday night conversation to a weekday lunch meeting, and we kicked it off on July 15th at the bank, and we're going to wrap it up August 12th at the chamber. We've had Kroger, who's been so helpful for us, HCA, Houston Healthcare, Conroe. We were there last Friday. They literally came out on parade with gurneys and wheelchairs full of school supplies. We stuffed 2 school buses full of school supplies just from HCA Houston Healthcare Conroe.
That is
That's
amazing.
awesome.
Isn't that cool?
That is so cool.
And it's everything. It's paper, it's pens, it's notebooks, it's erasers, it's backpacks. It's all the things that we take for granted each and every day.
That's right.
But that on day one, August 14th, when the kids start, there'll be kids that won't have anything.
Right.
That's tough.
It is. And we have such a large school district. It's one of the largest.
Yes.
And there's so many kids that are here. And you're right. Some of them don't have those opportunities.
Well, and all of this stuff, it looks wonderful because we had a
Yes.
meeting in your boardroom yesterday.
Yeah, it's a little crowded.
And we kind of had to step over,
Yes.
and that's okay.
It's a good problem to have.
It is a awesome problem to have, and that's one thing I just love about our community is how big of a heart this whole community
Yes.
has, and how
Yes.
everyone just kind of comes together to help each other out, and this is a great testament to that because brand new, very cool backpacks
Yes.
and all the spiral notebooks and trapper
Yes.
keepers and everything that are
I don't
now
think they
being
do
sorted.
Trapper keepers anymore
Okay,
either.
I'm dating myself.
I knew what you were talking about. It's okay.
They have them, maybe.
Maybe.
No, well, okay. So,
We
but
can talk about it.
But it is
Right.
it is pretty cool to see all of them back
It
there.
is. I loved all the backpack designs. I was looking at them, peeking through yesterday, and that's to me that's the cool part. It's the young kids with their backpacks, and
Yeah.
that's important.
Well, you know what? And it is because you don't want to be the kid that doesn't have a backpack.
Yes. Because that's how you find
really feel
your
that.
friends. I mean,
Uh-huh.
what backpack do you have?
And a new backpack. It's not a
At that.
hand-me-down.
That's
down.
right.
It's a new backpack.
Yes.
And so, absolutely. That's awesome.
I do. I think that's amazing. So can individuals drop these off?
Absolutely. We're still working with Kroger's. In fact, they've got a prepackaged, this is really cool
That makes
too.
it super easy. I saw
Prepackaged,
those.
$7, done. They'll put it in the
Wow.
bin. We'll take them off their hands. We'll make
That
sure
is
that they
cool.
get to the schools. And all the stores like that, Walmart are doing the same thing, HEB doing the same thing. But, yes, and Monday is the grand finale for us. Tuesday, the schools are coming to pick up all the supplies, so the room will get, relatively speaking, back to normal. and it's a quick hit, but it has immediate impact, and that's what makes it
Yes.
kind of awesome. Is it's an immediate impact
It
thing,
is.
right?
And you're really bringing the school buses. I
We
love
really
that.
are bringing
It's
the
stuff
school-
the bus, and there really are buses that are going to these locations.
So we got asked on Monday, do I really need to bring a school bus to pick this stuff up,
You
or
do.
can we just use a Suburban? And Ashley was like, well, if you have like 4 or 5 Suburban,
Sure.
Right?
And so one of the bus drivers from Willis, her name is Margie, great lady. She goes, oh no, I'm bringing the big bus when we come to pick this up, because I got to tell you, it's going to take a whole lot more than just one of these little small buses that we've been
Right.
using
Yes.
to take all this stuff back.
That
Very
is
excited.
awesome.
That is wonderful.
And
How
so you said
exciting.
that the CISD and Willis ISD will be getting these school supplies.
Absolutely, and they're staying right here in this area.
That is awesome.
We think this might be a annual event.
Well, we're hoping it does, and we'll learn from this. This is the first time we've done
Hey,
this.
Yeah.
We've touched a nerve, we think. Even the good folks at Kroger said, you know what's helping us is that you're taking them and guaranteeing that they're going to be delivered in this area.
Yes.
And that's an important part. Conroe is, even though we're a growing community, we're still very close-knit, and we like to help our neighbors.
Protect our own.
And this is helping our own neighbors
Yeah.
as well as our good friends in Willis. So we're excited about that.
I agree. I
That's
think that's
awesome.
awesome.
Yep.
Yay.
Too bad
So-
we won't be here to see the buses all
I
lined
know.
up
I know,
and
it's going to
pick
be so
everything
cool.
up.
We're going to take lots
I
of
was
pictures.
going to say, Ashley's going to have to take some pictures for
Oh,
me so I can
absolutely.
post them and get
We'll
all
get
that
'em.
blasted
Yep,
out.
yep.
I think that's such a cool thing.
So if you don't make it out to like Walmart or whatever, and you
Mm-hmm.
want to bring them, they can drop them off this week
They can drop them
at
off
the chamber.
this week, Monday. Even if it's after the fact, we'll get them to the schools.
Awesome.
I mean, people are going to hear this, and it'll be after the
Yeah.
deadline. That's okay. Kids still have needs even after school starts.
This is true. And my husband's a retired school teacher, and my mom's a retired school teacher. I'll tell you, those teachers need things too. So having
Yes.
the extra spirals and pencils and
Yep.
pens on hand, because a lot of times teachers spend a lot of money out of their own pockets to provide things
Yes.
in their classroom. So having those even after the fact, like you said, in the schools to help the teachers to be able to help the children, then it's definitely needed as well. So
Interesting stat I picked up, and that is on average, teachers in the state of Texas spend $644 a year of their own money on school supplies for their classrooms.
I believe it.
I was married to one. I know it's
Wow.
true.
I believe
Yeah.
that.
That blew me away. That's a lot of money when you
That's a
think about it.
It's
On a teacher's
lot of,
salary.
It's
On
a
a
lot of
teacher's
money on a
salary, yeah.
teacher's salary.
It really
Absolutely.
is.
Because they definitely do this for the heart and not for the money.
Yeah, that is true.
My daughter is a third grade teacher up in the Mansfield
Bless
area. And well, you know what? It's tougher and tougher and tougher to be a teacher.
Yeah, it is.
It's tougher and tougher, and
My
it's
next
not
door-
the kids.
No, it
It's
is
the
not. It
parents.
is the parents. My next door neighbor's a kindergarten teacher, and she comes home a lot. She's like, "Oh my gosh," and it's just tough because you want to help the kids, but you're correct. There are parents out there.
It's interesting, yeah. So this is our way of just involving the business community, giving something back, being visible in the community,
Yep.
and like I said, we're going to learn from this and adjust and move forward for next year.
I think it's a great program.
I
I
do
hope
too.
I hope it continues.
Thanks.
I do too.
Well, we got you here though.
Yes.
We got
Yeah.
a couple other things that are right around the corner.
They really are.
One of my favorites.
Yeah.
It was right after I started. Y'all had Real Men of Montgomery County. So the first one I went to was when Fred was still with the EDC, and he got out there all dressed up, and so that ages me too. But
Wow. Just imagining Fred on the catwalk, it makes me smile.
I know, I
It's
loved
good
it. He got all my tickets that night.
Oh, good. That's good.
So we have that coming up again.
Yeah.
That's next week, right?
It's the 15th.
15th,
Yes, it is
yes.
next week.
And it's going to be at Wiesner.
Yes.
Did y'all have
they're
it there last year?
We did. It's such a great location, and they're such a good family for
They are.
Conroe. And, they move all the cars out of the showroom. We set up a beautiful runway and lights, and there's plenty of room for people to mill around. It's a great place. Not as a great place to have a show, but it's a great place to buy a car.
Well, there you go.
There you go. I know Fallon appreciates all your help too.
That's right. That's right.
So that's going to be August 15th from 5:30 to 8:30. What is the theme?
The theme is Rock the Catwalk. And so obviously we have several of the highly visible men in the community that are our models, and they're being asked to dress up in their favorite rock and roll.
Rock and roll. So what's your costume?
I'm sorry, I'm not at liberty to share that.
I'm picturing Kiss.
Oh.
Actually, Cody Spence was telling me yesterday that a Kiss outfit is like $200 to $300,
What?
and that's before the makeup.
What?
Well, those platform shoes.
Yeah. Yeah, true. I don't know that I could do all that makeup.
I don't think so. Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Best part about it is we're raising money for the Montgomery County Food Bank. There'll be raffle tickets for sale, and you basically will put the tickets in the jar of the favorite model that you have, and whoever the one that has the most tickets becomes the real man of Montgomery.
Yes.
And then we share the proceeds with the Montgomery County Food Bank. So it's a win-win all the way
Yes.
around. I'm not 100% sure if last year's winner, which was Brent Wunderlich, who's our current chairman of the board, actually it was his son Oliver, who's now a year old.
Yes. Didn't he carry him out on the stage?
He did.
Yep.
And of course, that becomes the emotional
Done.
favorite.
He won.
It was all over at that
Yes.
point. Everybody else was like, hands up, can't touch it.
Yep. Yeah, I think Cody said that. He was like, I thought I was doing great until Brent walked out, and I was like, okay, well, he wins.
Well, he was. I mean,
No.
he was Austin Powers.
Yes.
And Guy Barker was Dr. Evil. I mean, they were a shoo-in until he walks out with the baby.
Done.
You can't beat that.
No.
Cody's got a little girl. He could bring her out
I
there. too.
absolutely could have.
He could do it this year.
Now, are tickets still available for that event?
Absolutely. $30. There's food, there's beverages. It's a great evening of entertainment, food, fun, and watching some guys make total fools of themselves.
So do we have any names that are signed up yet?
We have a lot of names that are
Like,
signed
that
up.
we can talk about?
You know what? If Courtney was here, I'd let her share with that. But since Courtney's not here, I'm going to keep quiet
Keep
on
it
that
quiet. I hear you.
one.
You'll have to
will
buy a
say-
ticket to come and see.
Yes.
I won't say that Austin Powers and Dr. Evil will reprise their roles, but I have it on good authority that we won't be disappointed.
All right.
I want to know who's going to be Guns N' Roses. I mean, Axel. Axel much? Anybody?
There's got to be somebody out
There's
there.
got to be an Axel Rose. I
Absolutely.
need pictures of this too.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, there's sponsor tables. There are individual tickets. There are individual tables that you can buy. So where does everybody get these tickets at?
At Conroe.org is the best place to do it. You can log on. There's a portal right there where you can buy your tickets and sponsorships online. It's really pretty cool, folks. If you buy a cocktail table, it's your chance to kind of network while people stand around and get ready for the show. So it works out both ways.
Perfect.
I think we have about a minute and a half, but I want to throw out too one of my favorite
Yes.
events.
Yeah.
Lobster Fest also is just right around the corner. Come
Yes.
hungry because it is a lot of food.
I love it.
But that's coming up on
October 3rd and 4th.
October 3rd and 4th. So the 3rd is when you need to come hungry.
That's the dinner.
And you can get some information. I mean, literally, the steak is falling off the plate. It's so big. And then a
Yes.
whole lobster. I mean, it is just...
it's a fun night.
It's fun and it's delicious. So you can get more information on that on your website as well. I'm assuming, and go ahead and buy your tickets
Yes.
now.
And bring
Yeah.
your checkbooks.
Because there is a live and silent auction.
There is
Great
a live and silent
auctions.
auction.
So, real side story. Of course, y'all were there yesterday. We met with the folks at Channel 13 down in Houston. And once again, their eyes were open. We fly in 1,000 lobsters from Boston every
Yes.
year live that day so they can be cooked by Scott and E and all the great
Donnie.
volunteer cookers that
Yep.
are just awesome. And the servers, they're the ones that make it happen. what happens in the front is really secondary to the folks that are at the back of the convention center.
It is
Yes.
fun, so definitely take part
Yes.
in that. 'Cause
Yeah, thanks for
it's
bringing that.
delicious. Oh, that was one of my favorite events. I love it.
I enjoyed it because my husband cooked last
Yeah.
year, and I got to actually see that he can cook, so we were able to bring that home and have him continue
Oh.
cooking at the house.
Oh.
Just saying.
I just like to eat, so that worked.
Me
for
too.
The steak is something to behold. And to think that they're cooking 1,000 steaks, and when you get it, it's medium to medium rare. It's like, how do you do that?
Right?
And it's huge.
It
It's
is
huge.
big piece of
And the
meat.
lobster like just falls on top of
Yeah.
the steak.
You really kind of need 2 plates.
You do. Yes.
So
We can work on
mark
that.
your calendar,
Yes.
October 3rd and
3rd
4th.
and
I'm hungry.
I know.
Me too. Almost lunchtime.
Yeah. Well, thank you so
Yeah,
much,
thank you,
Thank
Brian,
you.
for coming
Appreciate it a
out.
lot.
Yeah, please, and throw your website out one more time.
Sure, conroe.org.
It's got
Yes.
all the
Check us out.
information, all the events,
Yes.
all the information online. You can buy your tickets and register for any of their events online. So.
Thanks,
Yes.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely. We're
absolutely.
going to take a quick break and stay tuned. Up next, we'll be visiting with Joy Montgomery with the Heritage Museum. You're listening to Keeping Up with Conroe, hosted by Visit Conroe.
A Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show, with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
Hey, Montgomery County, it's me, C.C. Holmes. And I would personally like to take this time to invite you, that's right, you, to join me every Saturday and Sunday from 3 until 7 p.m., where I will bring you the very best of smooth jazz, classic jazz, and indeed, yes, the soulful sounds of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So come along and get jazzy with me. That's right, jazzy. Right here, of course, on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM, or worldwide at irlongstar.com.
And we are back. You are listening to Keeping Up with Conroe. I'm your host, Jody,
I'm Shannon.
and we are with Visit Conroe. Today we have with us Joy Montgomery. She is going to be talking with us at the Heritage Museum. How are you?
Good.
Congratulations
Yes.
on your new job.
Brand new. You're what, a
Thank
weekend?
you. Yes, I'm very excited.
We jumped on it. We wanted to be the first one to
Yes.
interview you.
That's
You
right.
got it.
So, yeah, your weekend of this. So you want to tell us a little bit about how you got involved with the Heritage Museum?
Well, I guess like kind of my family's history of being around Conroe. We started off in Montgomery County since 1822. My family's been around.
Just a
And
day or two.
Yeah, just a day or two. My grandfather was the principal up here at Conroe. And then also my father went to Conroe High School and went through the school here. And my grandmother was a history teacher through
Wow.
here. So it's kind of in the family.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of makes sense. And the
Yeah.
Heritage Museum is just an awesome attraction
Yes.
that we love to promote with Visit Conroe. History is a big proponent of
Yes.
everything that we do, a big piece of everything we do, I should say, with our marketing. So we love the Heritage Museum and all that y'all have to offer out there.
Yes, and we have my father's also written several history books, including historical Montgomery County. I've co-authored several with him. I also have a master's degree, English and history. So,
From?
yes, Sam Houston.
Sam Houston.
Yes,
So you're a Bearcat, so you are a local girl.
yes,
So,
definitely.
That's great.
Well, tell us a little bit about what your position entails.
Yes.
What are you going to be doing with the museum?
I'm the executive director, and so a lot of right now what we're hoping to initiate and start is to get more volunteers, more integral history, kind of expand on our history that we already have there. So we'd love to have folks come by, volunteer. We need docents, love to chat about their histories, love to chat about their stories, kind of expand on that, get more of the community together. I'd like to mention as well, we've got coming up in October an event, baseball event. So
Really?
we'd love to have some volunteers.
And now you have to tell everyone, why is baseball so important in Conroe and to the Heritage Museum?
Dolly Gray.
Yes, yes.
Exactly.
Because he was a big baseball player,
Yes.
and he's from Conroe, and he was a big part of our history.
Yes.
So it's important.
Right. So come celebrate our heritage.
Yes, absolutely. So what does this baseball entail?
The event?
What is it about?
It's in October. I was going to write down the date.
October 19th. And so we want to have, we're asking for volunteers to come out and play and to actually and participate as well. So we've got several folks working on that. So.
That's cool. Now there'll be a fee and all of that.
Yes.
Yes.
And there'll be more of that posted on Facebook.
Okay, perfect. So we'll just the Heritage Museum, correct?
Yes.
Facebook page. Perfect.
See, I always learn things when
I
we're on
know.
the radio. So
mean-
I'm always the one taking notes, and then I'll take this back, and we'll be researching it and adding it to our calendar.
And we'll make sure that once you get everything
Yeah.
posted, we'll share it on our Facebook page and our website. That way people can continue to get the information to a bigger audience.
Great.
So go ahead.
I was just going to say I love going to the museum because I don't know if I don't think I have just gone on my own. Usually I'm going with other people. And so I hear something different or see something different
Yeah.
or read something different and new every single time I'm there. I mean, for a little space, and for those of y'all who don't know where it is, it's adjacent to Candy Cane Park. It's just kind of in the corner of Candy Cane Park, right on the frontage road of I-45. And it's in a little house, and it is so tiny, and it's really not that tiny. I mean, it's a fairly, for the time that
Yes.
house was built, it's actually a
1924,
fairly large house, but there's so much information everywhere.
Yes.
I mean, you could use quadruple that size.
That's right. And it's really amazing, some of the programming that we have there as well.
And there's even a hands-on kids area. You know, a lot of museums you're told don't touch, don't. You know, there's a fun little like a mercantile or something.
Yeah, and they can get on there hands-on. And we also have Pioneer Camp for the kids during the summer where they can really get
Yes.
hands-on and learn how to do things. What's amazing to me, we just went through Pioneer Camp, all the little things that, kids these days don't get to play with or don't see as much. Like even jacks, they're fascinated. But even going back further than that, there's so much to see and do and hands-on there. It's like going back in time.
Yeah.
And they love it. They work on creating butter and honey,
Oh, wow.
and they shuck the
so
corn.
fun.
And there's all kinds of activities. So we have to do more activities
I love
as
that.
well
That's
throughout
so
the year.
fun.
Last year we had Renfest, the King's tour. We made a stop there, and I
We have
loved
some great pictures of the king in the
Yes.
museum.
I loved seeing him touch the stuff, and he was fascinated with it, and with just being there and seeing the past and the history and the importance of it. And so that was very cool to see it from an outsider's eye. I loved it.
Yeah, and I was going to mention too the artwork, and I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank in that back room. Who is the artist that's back there? Throwing me
Yes.
for a loop. I've drawn, but
That's the Mark Clapham.
yes. Oh, and they're beautiful pieces. I mean, there are some. I mean, the sculptures that are in there and the painting. I mean, they're beautiful.
Yeah, his mom was Chickasha,
Yeah.
and a lot of those creations were from Montgomery County.
Oh, they're just
area.
amazing.
Beautiful.
So you'll have to peek in there too. That's a room that y'all use, I know, for meetings and things, kind of back in that area. But there's some beautiful art pieces there too. So get out there and check it out. And the stuff on the grounds, I mean, there's some
We go and
stuff
play.
outside.
We've taken pictures,
Yeah.
and I love it out there.
And there's a small little part where you do the butterflies. Don't you have a little
Yes, a
butterfly
little butterfly
garden?
garden,
Yeah.
yes.
I just love it out there. So.
And then there's a little store, so people can buy their own souvenirs to take home with them, to continue learning.
And there's
Cute
also
things,
the Straight
yeah.
Gray House.
Yeah,
Yes.
Tours on Saturdays.
Yeah, and they have the baseball room in there,
Yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
A lot of artifacts from
Yeah.
Conroe, yeah.
And the house, the original house is, what was they called that, a Sears house? Or
Yeah, they
Yeah.
purchased it.
Yeah, they
actually,
purchased it in
and-
pieces, and it was delivered to you, and you had to build it yourself or have somebody build it for you. I thought that's super unique.
It's kind of cookie cutter housing that they had.
That's right. That's right.
Do what you got to do back then, right?
Yes, but it was a large house compared to
Oh,
the
yeah,
times. It was
definitely.
huge.
There's a lot of room in there. There's also that roughneck cabin out there, which
Yes.
is interesting.
Yes.
I can imagine living in there in the summer, especially right now.
Oh, I know. Oh, you've added AC over the years,
Oh, yeah,
so
of
I mean, thank goodness for that. So yeah. So what are the hours of the museum?
So it's 9 to 4 Wednesday through Saturday.
Okay.
And we usually ask for donations of at least $2 for adults, $1 for children, just to kind of help keep the doors open. We are
course.
a nonprofit, so.
And you have tours.
Yes, we do. We have
So-
tours. So every time you come in the door, you're welcome. Here to give you a tour.
But people can bring other groups, kids group or, groups can bring in, schedule a time with you and have a little tour, correct?
Yes. So you can schedule a tour, and also we have the Straight Gray House that we also have for events and everything that you can reserve.
So you can have a little reception over there.
Yes,
That is so cool. I
Yeah,
like that.
they've got plenty of space in that
Yeah.
side room over there, and it's really nice then too. You can go out and down the stairs, and there's the park. I mean, it's just a nice setting out there
Yeah.
as well. So,
Very beautiful. I love that location.
well, with your history background, you already kind of, I'm sure, come in with some ideas and kind of new things you want to do. I know you barely have
Yes.
gotten your feet on the ground, so
But I'm really excited. And see, we had also done a festival here in Conroe at the Heritage Place Park around 2013. And so we had brought in the different towns in original Montgomery County area, including Huntsville, Willis, Navasota, other places to come together and do a festival. Cradle of Texas Road is what it was called, and Texas Heritage Festival. And we had African Americans come in, Hispanics, other things. So I really want to be here and reach out to the communities as well to come in and have more of an inclusive history.
That's very cool.
And really be able to tell more about also what's going on now and kind of modernize that as well.
That is so cool.
And the history that's being made every day.
That's
It's
right.
really fascinating.
That's right. And they say that you have to learn history so you don't repeat it. And I think
Yeah.
that's important that we all need to remember that.
Right.
well, and even, I mean, a lot of people think, I'm not into history. I don't really care about history. But even the stuff about like the famous people or people who have made a difference that have come from this area.
Yes.
And we've got the murals down here in downtown that depict some of them, and you've got information on some of them in yours. I mean, that's what's kind of fun and neat too for some kids that, for instance, are into boxing. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a big long boxing tradition here, and some famous people
Yeah.
in the
Chuck
boxing
Johnson,
world have
yeah.
come from this area,
Right.
and so stuff like that is just really kind of cool. So
Yeah.
as you
amazing.
look
Roy
at
Harris.
bringing back this Heritage Festival, let us know. We'd love to be a part of it and help
Yeah.
market it for
Wonderful.
sure. So
Fantastic.
it'd be
Looking
kind of
forward to that.
fun.
Absolutely. Was there anything that we missed that you think's important, that you think that is important to tell everyone?
I would like to say that there's, people are coming in, and even in my first week, people are coming in and they're excited because they want to tell about this town or this little town that they just discovered. And you know what? I love to hear those stories. So
Right.
come in and tell me about it, because we all need to be stewards of our history.
That's
And
correct.
so if you discover something, come in and tell us about it. And if you do, because I know there's people who go out and find artifacts and other things. If you do go out and find something, because I know people will, if you do, please at least tell us where the GPS coordinates and everything else for it are, so that we can kind of reconstruct that and see where that came from.
Right. So you can learn its history.
Yeah, definitely. So please, open door policy, come in, have a chat. Love to see you.
Well, and people can donate. That's important. That if you
Yes.
have historical artifacts that are Montgomery County related, please bring them in. If you don't throw them away,
Definitely.
donate them because they could absolutely be important to our history.
And you can have your name in the museum.
Woohoo!
Items, but also I'm sure money would help too, and
Yes,
you would
yes,
not turn away money.
Never.
So I mean, we were just talking with Brian Bondi with the Chamber of Commerce before you, and talking about what a giving heart this community has, and I'm finding more and more every day that this community really embraces its history, and there are the people that are so proud to say I was born and raised here. This is
Yes.
and will tell me stories about stuff. And so if you have that kind of a heart as well and want to help preserve this history, and you maybe don't have any artifacts, but you'd like to help contribute to the Heritage Museum, of course, I'm sure they're not going to turn anything away.
No,
Right.
Definitely not.
I did
really
want to ask
appreciate it.
before we let you go on docents, though, what is that process and how would someone apply for that?
Well, we hope to have more information up on our Facebook page pretty soon on our website, but please come by if you're interested, and we'll start getting the ball rolling and start talking to you about
Even if you
that.
don't know everything about,
Even if you
about
don't
the
know
history
anything.
here, you'll teach them.
Yes,
Okay.
and just come in, roll up your sleeves. If you're willing to help and want to get into it, we're here to help.
It's a great way to learn and get to know
Yes.
more about
Yeah.
the community too. So.
Definitely,
Awesome.
definitely.
That's
So,
awesome. Well, thank you for coming out. We appreciate it.
okay, thank you.
Joy, it was great talking to you. We hope to
Yes.
see you soon. We're going to take another quick break, but stay tuned. And up next, we'll be visiting with the crew from the City of Conroe Transportation Department. You're listening to Keeping Up with Conroe, hosted by Visit Conroe.
Hey guys, this is Connor.
This is Dick.
This is Chris.
And we're with the Ticket Stub Podcast every Thursday live at noon on 104.5 and 106.1 FM in the Conroe area. Also, anytime at irlonestar.com. You go to irlonestar.com/TTS. You can find all of our social media.
And don't forget, we give away 2 tickets to the Grand Theater on every show.
If you like movies and you like complaining or celebrating anything that has to do with the silver screen, check out the Ticket Stub Podcast and join us every Thursday at noon o'clock on Lone Star Community Radio.
Hispanic Chamber Connections with Dr. Carlos Sanchez, President of the Woodlands Conroe Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, featuring event announcements, member highlights, and more. Tuesdays at 1 p.m., broadcasting from the heart of Conroe, Texas on irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
And we're back. You're listening to Keeping Up with Conroe. I'm Shannon. Jody just stepped out, and she'll be right back. We're with Visit Conroe, and now we have the whole crew, actually, from the Transportation Department. We've got Sean, DeAndre, and Joseph. We're so glad to have y'all here. We've got a lot of stuff coming up. Y'all ready for it?
Yes, August 19th is a huge day for us. So we have been singing it and dancing it and just talking about it. And it's a pleasure to be on your show again.
We're so glad to have y'all. And do y'all want to talk local transportation first, or you want to talk about the new shuttle service?
Let's talk about local first.
All
That sounds
right.
good.
Got some great fixed routes. I have actually ridden on the bus.
Very cool.
So, and they're easy,
Yeah.
simple, easy to navigate. So, and I think we've got probably one of the best transportation systems I've seen for a city.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. We also agree, a little biased, but for sure. So Conroe Connection Transit. So we're a public transportation system. We're a provider in the Conroe Woodlands urbanized area. The city of Conroe supports us with staffing and funding from local and federal sources. We operate a fixed bus route that was initiated in 2015. We also have a complimentary paratransit service, and recently we just launched April 1st, and it wasn't a joke, our Conroe Commuter Connection. So we're real proud of all 3 products, and they are thriving and growing. And, transit in Montgomery County in this area is just evolving, just mobility in of itself so much. And it's nice to finally have some representation in our community.
I can't believe it's only been in existence since 2015.
That's it, yeah.
How many buses do y'all have?
So our fleet is, I think we have 6
6, correct.
vehicles, yeah.
And they go pretty much everywhere, north to south, east
North
to
to
west.
south, yeah, so we go as far as 336 South Loop, and as far as north, 336 North Loop, but just beyond that, northeast to the Lone Star College Center.
Yeah, it's awesome. And they're very iconic. You can see them. They've
Yeah.
got the trees.
Sure.
And they're wonderful.
Sure. So we had to give it a kind of Conroe signature look, and as public transportation in Conroe grows, we're able to refine that image. We want people to identify and know kind of what our buses are. There are some other nonprofit and other agencies that have a transportation component, so we don't want to confuse the public transportation system with something that's private. So that's always a focus for us. But yes, and the buses are very affordable. The fare is $1. Most riders can even qualify for our reduced fare, our half fare at 50 cents. So we try to make it, affordable for everyone.
And how could someone find out about the routes and the stops and the times?
Yeah, so they can bypass me and contact DeAndre. I'll let him talk about that.
Or come right into the chamber building and speak with Joseph.
Right. So there are a few opportunities. So if you want to come visit us in person, we're at the Lake Conroe Chamber Building that's located at 505 West Davis. And you can actually speak to Joseph Bolletino. He'll be at the front desk, so he can assist you with some brochures and information schedules. Or you can connect with us at conroeconnection.org. And we have all of the schedules and routes listed there online.
And when they ride, is it just money, or can they buy a pass that will be multiple dollars?
So they can buy passes at the 505 West Davis location, or they can actually get the bus order form on the conroeconnection.org and actually send that to me with the address and however they want to pay, either a check or the cash, but it has to be exact change. And then I can actually send that to any billing address.
Awesome. That makes it simple and easy.
Yeah, so those are our booklets of tickets if you
Yes.
want to purchase them that way. Otherwise, exact change.
Correct.
And how else? I think that's
Yeah,
it.
exact change. So $1 or 50 cents.
And then you mentioned the other service, not the fixed route, but the other one.
The commuter service?
The 88
The 88 paratransit.
Yeah, I was gonna, could
Yeah.
we talk a little bit more about that and how
Sure.
someone would get more information on that?
Sure. So the 88 paratransit service is for individuals who are unable to access or use the fixed route. That service is specialized. You have to qualify. So there's an application process for us to approve you to use that service. Unlike the fixed route that, is a bus that stops at designated points, it keeps a certain time schedule, it doesn't deviate. The 88 paratransit is operated by, we have vans for those services. They're ADA accessible, and they are more of a door-to-door shared ride service. So we see a lot of elderly individuals, people going like to dialysis on a weekly basis, that kind of thing. And as far as how to qualify or how to get in touch with us, again, just reaching out to our department at the Chamber of Commerce building, our website, conroeconnection.org, calling our office, and we can walk you through the process.
That's a great service to be able to
Yeah.
offer to
And
our
the
community.
fare for that service is just $2 each way, so it's $4 round trip, and it's much more personalized.
Yeah, door to door, that really helps them too, to not have to try to trek maybe a couple blocks or whatever to get to the
Exactly.
stop. Awesome, that's wonderful. Well, I want to switch gears and talk about the shuttle, because there's a
Yes.
lot going on with that, and I talked about the wrap on the local fixed route buses.
Yeah.
I love that, how iconic it is, and I haven't seen the wrap on the bus. Is it on the bus yet?
So it will be displayed at the ribbon
Okay,
cutting.
perfect. Well, I've seen an image of it.
Yeah,
and
we're all pretty excited.
love it because it ties the trees that are iconic to Conroe in with the downtown buildings of
image.
Houston. So let's talk about the shuttle to Houston.
So definitely. So we started our Conroe commuter service on April the 1st, as Sean mentioned, and we offer 3 southbound runs. So it's 3 in the morning. One leaves out at 5 a.m., the next one at 5:30 a.m., and then finally at 6:30 a.m. So we'll take you down to downtown Houston, and there are stops at Midtown, Houston Community College, Rice University, the Texas Medical Center, and also the Transit Center. And it makes its last stop at the VA hospital.
wonderful.
So, and in between, there's a total of about 19 stops that it makes. And once you enjoy whatever opportunities you have there, you can actually make your way back north to Conroe, and then there's 3 buses that leave out from the VA at 4:30, 5:30, and 6 p.m. that will get you back into the Conroe park and ride lot anywhere between 6 p.m. and 7:30 p.m.
And the park and ride lot, for those who don't know, is at 2854 underneath I-45.
That is correct. Pretty much directly in front of the Montgomery County Library.
It was simple, easy to get to.
Yes.
Plenty of parking spaces.
Shaded parking too.
Shaded parking. That's
Yes.
always a good thing.
Correct.
And this has been going on what now? 4 months?
Correct.
And how are the riderships
Ridership.
going?
So in April, we began with a ridership of 679
Wow.
passengers, and now July ended with over 1,200 riders.
That's wonderful. I mean, I think that as we're growing and we truly are a suburb of Houston, I mean, there's a lot of people that live in Conroe area that work in the Houston area or that need the services that are offered in Houston. I mean, that's a wonderful thing to offer. I love it.
Oh, yeah, it's great. Fares are $8 one way.
Still cheap.
Yes, if you are a student, a person with a disability, senior citizen between the ages of 65 and 69, it's $4 one way. And veterans and persons of age 70 and older, completely free with approved application process through Metro. So
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I love it. And you said too, these are not vans. These are huge
they're over-the-road coaches. They're gigantic.
And so there's storage underneath. So if you want to take your bike to make it easier to get around in downtown Houston or wherever you're going in Houston, you can store your bike under there as well.
Correct. Yes, these are 55 passenger coaches, and they are AC is great, and you can relax. You can even take a nap if you like.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. Yeah, or get some work done while you're on your way down there, and not have to worry about driving in the traffic.
Right.
Oh, I love that.
So connectivity in our area is huge. You were just talking about how we're a suburb of Houston or whatnot, and that's beginning to blur. We are really becoming more of a metro area, and so it's very important for us to kind of catch up with the transit, public transportation. One other huge benefit to our commuter service is that it feeds right into the Metro's transfer point at the Texas Medical Center. So Metro, they have rail, they have their regular buses. I mean, they have, you name it. You can go all the way to Galveston, literally from the Texas Medical Center. So that is just really ingenious in terms of connectivity, and that's truly the dream, is that we are regionally connected and that we're working together, whether it's pilot programs from Willis to Conroe, East County into Conroe, Montgomery into Conroe that feeds south and north. That's the dream here. And so we have got to get started. And the impact of what we're doing right now, let's talk in about 5 years.
Right.
Let's talk in about 7-8 years. Then we're really going to understand why it was so necessary to launch this commuter service April 1st of 2019.
Oh, right.
We have initiated some strong partnerships with Houston Galveston Area Council. In fact, that's part of our events. So can we talk about August 19th?
Yeah, August the 19th, coming
All
up.
right, let's do it. So on August 19th, we've partnered with Houston Galveston Area Council to initiate, actually, the service. Some of our funding that we receive that supports the operations of the commuter service came from HGAC. So they are hosting an appreciation event for our commuters. There is a pot of funding called CMAQ funding, congestion mitigation, something. Basically means let's take vehicles off the road projects to support that. HGAC has a division called Commute Solutions, and their whole mission is to work with local partners and businesses to organize public outreach events, to rethink the way we get to work. So because they're celebrating their 25th anniversary and we happen to be doing a ribbon cutting event.
Perfect timing.
So we collaborated, and yes, it's early. We're talking about commuters here. This is not, the crew that goes over to Hobby Lobby in the afternoon. This is like early morning people. So at 5:30 a.m.
Correct.
A.m.
Yes.
On August 19th, Commute Solutions, as part of their 25th anniversary, is hosting an appreciation event for our commuters at the Park and Ride lot. So that'll run from 5:30 to 6:30 a.m. It's going to dovetail right into our Conroe Park and Ride ribbon cutting ceremony to really honor the partnerships and the diligent work and support that we've had from Metro, HGAC, the City of Conroe, and all other types of community supporters, to get that moment to officially say we did this. Correct. And it has begun. That starts at 6. So it's 6 to 7 a.m. is the actual ribbon cutting ceremony.
The unveiling.
The unveiling, yes, of the physical bus, right? Not just the image. So we actually get to see, and it is fantastic. If you all that are listening have not seen what this bus, what the wrap looks like. I mean, this is our message board going down I-45.
Love it.
And it took forever to get to this point. You would think we were designing a mansion. It was just so many details and so many opinions and this and that. The original designs that we started with look so different than what we came up with.
Right.
So it really gives you an appreciation for process
Right.
because it's so necessary. And you know, our consultants, we're supported by the Goodman Corporation. Their designer, bless her heart, she just kept going back to the drawing board. So yes, the unveiling of the bus wraps is going to be super exciting. These buses are gigantic, and to have our look on it.
Well, I can't
It's
wait
gonna
to
be a
see it
wonderful
because
moment.
it looks beautiful on paper when I saw it come out. So.
Yeah. So we're doing that ribbon cutting from 6 to 7 a.m. And then later that day, the other part of our partnership with Commute Solutions is we're hosting a transportation fair. And this is a come and go event. It's from 11 to 1 o'clock. And basically it is to educate our community about various ways to travel outside of just their vehicles. There are some service gaps clearly in our area that our service does not satisfy just yet, or even our commuter service does not satisfy yet. But we have partnerships, and we know of, and HGAC Commute Solutions, it is their business to know of other products, other services that can fill in the gap. One being the Metro Star. I'm not going to go into detail. I'm not going to steal Metro's thunder with their Star program. But it is incredible. If you're listening and you feel like there's no transportation options, especially if you're in Montgomery County, I would suggest you get to this transportation fair. There are resources that you just don't know about.
Right.
And so that event is from 11 to 1. We're hosting it at the Conroe Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce on 505 West Davis, which happens to be the building that we office out of. And Commute Solutions web address, just so you know, which I think is really clever, it is findasmarterwaytowork.org. And so that's the focus. And so aside from our products that we bring here to Conroe, we're also educating our community to think a little wider about how we travel, to think a little more global about how we move in our region. There's a lot of hoopla in the news right now about the I-45 construction project. That's going to impact us all. Everything that they do on 45 impacts everyone.
Absolutely.
So it's good to kind of get the information up front so at least should things come up. For example, we're getting a lot of calls with kids going back to school. We're fortunate enough that the routes that we launched last year happens to go by the 9th grade campus here in Conroe and also the east side of the high school off of Wilson Road at Longmire.
Correct.
So we get to coordinate things like that, but we never want to lose track of the wider view, the wider perspective here.
Sure.
So August 19th, it is a Monday.
Mark your calendar. Come early.
Yes, for those early birds, we'll see you at 5:30 or 6 a.m. And for those of you that just want to come by and say hello and educate yourself on some other programs, 11 to 1.
Perfect. Well, we're going to take a quick break. If y'all want to stick around, y'all can help me wrap this up and we'll cover some more things. We will be right back. You're listening to Keeping Up with Conroe, hosted by Visit Conroe. We'll be back.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
Remember to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on your computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. Lone Star Community Radio broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
And we're back. You're listening to Keeping Up with Conroe. I'm your host, Shannon, and Jody is still not back, but that's okay. We're with Visit Conroe, and we have the transportation team still in here with me. We want to make sure we hit the highlights one more time on the August the 19th, and you've got a survey that you want to talk about, and then we'll kind of wrap things up for the day.
Sounds good with me. So yes, we have a rider survey. So for those individuals who have actually utilized our services, either fixed route or ADA, you can check out our website at conroeconnection.org. fill out that survey for us, give us some feedback, and once you turn that in to one of the bus drivers, you'll receive a one-way voucher or ticket to ride the bus. Even if you hadn't rode our service, if you have any questions or concerns, just again, check us out on our website, and we'll be more than happy to.
Is that helping you to identify if there's any missing locations and that sort of thing? That's
Correct.
awesome.
Yes, definitely.
Great. Be sure and check that out. It's on your website.
Correct.
So, and fill it out. And I would suggest, even if you haven't ridden it, get on there, look at the routes, and see if you can help identify any places that are missing.
Exactly. And we actually have surveys on the buses in Spanish and in English. So if you're riding the bus, you can complete that. And as soon as you're done, hand that over to the driver, and they'll give you the ticket.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Good. And then one more time, August the 19th. I know it's early, and I'm really sorry I'm going to be out of town, but I know my staff are going to be out there to support. We're excited because I travel a lot, and while the fixed service isn't necessarily for the visitors, which is what my office focuses on, it does help alleviate the traffic in our community by offering transportation. The shuttle, though, to Houston, I think is huge. I travel a lot in Europe as well, and I never rent a car, or very, very rarely do I rent a car. Just hopping on a train or hopping on a bus or whatever is the way that everyone travels over there. And I wish that we could get that way in the Houston area, because you're right. We need to be thinking about 5 or 10 years down the road and what it's going to mean to this whole region. So I love that, and we're really excited. And so the transportation ought to be able to. The transportation fair, is that what you're calling it?
Yes.
That later that day ought to be kind of eye-opening, and I jotted it down because I want to check it out as well online. You can find out more about all of this that we've talked about with all of our guests today on our website, on our Facebook page, and any of our social media. Visit Conroe.com. Social media is at Visit Conroe. Be sure and check out all of the information on our websites. And if you have events or things you want us to know about, be sure and post them on our calendar, on our website. That's where we get the information, and you too could be a guest on our show. And there's tons of upcoming events for the month of August, anything from bingo night at Blue Epiphany or live music events going on in downtown Conroe. Check all of that out. Sign up for some fun things. Try to squeeze in a little bit more fun before school starts next week. Get out and explore our community. Check out our website, Visit Conroe. And that's it for today. Thanks for listening. Want to know more about local hidden treasures or looking for things to do in Conroe? The goal of Keeping Up with Conroe is to promote all that Conroe has to offer for residents and visitors. So tune in monthly. We're Visit Conroe.